Sup, bitches. Sup, bitches. This is the law. Jay Vicious. America's true nigga. So I started watching this anime the other day. It's called Danberu. Danberu no ni Babu. Yeah, fuck it. The English translation is How Heavy Are Dumbbells. And the reason why I started watching this anime is because it's about fitness. And I'm all about fitness. So, of course, the Vicious Law was like, I'm gonna watch this anime because it's about something that I like to do in my free time. So I was watching it, and I only watched the first episode as of now, just to see if it's worth watching the rest of the season. It's like 12 episodes, I think, so it's not that bad to begin with. But I was watching it, and it's actually pretty good anime. I like the first episode. I like the basis of it, where it's like they give you fitness advice while the characters do nonsense like in every other anime. It's a comedy, so they do nonsense and then they tell you fitness advice, which is fine. It's nice. So the show starts off with this one brown Japanese girl. I think they're all Japanese unless stated otherwise, but it's a brown girl. And her friend tells her something that she's losing, she's gaining weight. Her friends was like, "Oh, damn, are you gaining weight?" And then she starts freaking out, like, "What the fuck? You call me fat?" Like, I mean, because she's always eating and shit. And then she like weighs herself, and yeah, she's fat. The anime said that she's fat and shit, and it's like she's like, "Oh fuck," she wants to start working out. And it's funny because the reason why her friends think she was getting fat is because she's like a shit ton, and that actually goes to me too, where it's like, people always ask me, "Hey, yo, Vicious, how are you supposed to lose weight?" And I'm like, well, the thing is, you don't want to lose weight. You don't refer to it as losing weight. You refer to it as losing fat. You don't want to lose weight. You always want to weigh a certain amount. You never want to fall too far, because then you just become a twig, and you don't want that, because being super skinny is a lot worse health wise than being fat. You'd rather be fat than these a twig, because your body needs fat to survive. Your fat basically just stored energy, and so your body needs fat to feed off of it. That's why all these bodybuilders, their bodies turn to shit when they get older, because they don't have fat in their bodies. So in the long run, their body eats off their muscles and organs to survive instead of fat. So, and that's why they all become saggy and shit, because their bodies were basically just eating the muscles, and that's why they lose all their muscles. That's why you need at least a certain amount of fat. You don't want to be too much fat, but it's just like that old expression goes. Too much of a good thing, right? So it's like you want fat, but you don't want too much fat. Yeah. So when it comes down to it, I guess the certain amount that you want is to be around that a good 13 to 16, maybe even 17% body fat, but that's a little pushing it too much. So I would say 16. Like me, as of right now, I'm at 15% body fat, so that's fine. I would like to drop it to 14, maybe in 13. Because for you to show off some six pack, and this is why I never believe people with six packs are that healthy. Because in order for you to have a six pack, you need at least be 12% body fat. So just because you have a six pack doesn't mean you're healthy. It just means that you don't eat. Because six packs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. All you need to do is not eat. Lose all your fat, and then bam, you got a six pack. But that don't mean shit. You got a six pack just so that just means that you don't eat. It doesn't mean that you actually like work out and shit. So yeah. So when it comes to losing weight, like I said, it's not losing weight, it's losing fat. You want to lose fat. Like me personally, I weigh close to 200 pounds. I actually weigh 190 or so, and I actually want to keep it that way. I want to weigh 190 or 200, but I want to weigh 200 pounds of muscle, not 200 pounds of fat, because that sounds way more better. Like, it sounds better, right? Like, you weigh 200 pounds of pure muscle instead of saying, oh, you're 200 pounds of pure fat. You don't want to be 200 pounds of pure fat. Then you're just going to be a fat fuck. But if you're 200 pounds of pure muscle, then you're a healthy fuck, and then people will be like, God damn, he's 200 pounds of pure fucking muscle, you know. You know, there's certain beasts out there that are 200 pounds of pure muscle. A dog, I think, is like 40 pounds of pure muscle and shit. I know that some of them are fat, but still, it's pure. It's like muscle and shit. So yeah, yeah, that this is why I got into this anime, because I'm all about the fitness, and then this anime is just, you know, it's about that too. So moving on, then so the girl's getting fat and shit. So she goes to this new gym that they made, I guess, called Silverback. I forgot what was. I think it's Silverback. I forgot actually. So she goes sign up for the new gym, and then she runs into her classmate. Yeah, she runs into her classmate. I forgot her name. To be honest, I forgot the main character girl name too. I'm fucking terrible. Not that I think her name's Sakura. Is it Sakura? Nah, not Sakura. Fuck, I don't fucking remember her name. Fuck. Yeah, I really don't remember their names. Anyway, so yeah, she runs into her classmate, and then her classmate's like super happy that she has someone that she knows, I guess, to go to the gym with her, because she likes to train with somebody than alone. Which I actually, you know, I feel for that, because, you know, it is better to train with somebody, but in the end too, it's also bad. You know, it's kind of like 50-50, because like, you want to train with someone to have the company, but sometimes they drag you down because you're doing your thing, and then they get fucked up. They're like, I can't keep up. So then they start dragging you down. So it's always 50-50 when you work out somewhere. It's like you feel like they might drag you down, but then, you know, you like the company. But you should also know that you know, it's kind of fucked up to say that they drag you down, because you gotta be able to stay in the same level as them. You know, just because you're more advanced doesn't mean you should show off to them. If you see that the other person is falling behind, don't try to show off and be all like, "Oh, you bitch, I'm gonna surpass you now." You know, help them out a bit. You know. And so anyway, so they take a tour of the gym, and then they meet this guy. His name is Makio. I don't know why I remember his name and not the girl's. I guess because he makes the anime. I don't know, because his character seems fucking funny, stupid. So I guess he makes the show. I don't know. So the girls are forgettable, and then he comes out. You know, so one girl is like terrified of all these big motherfuckers, because, you know, it is terrifying if you're like, let's say you're a little Japanese girl, I guess. You know, the way they draw them, like just little Japanese girl, and then you got these fucking titans and monsters and shit, fucking 24-inch pythons all over the place with all these testosterone and shit. It'll be frightening. So one girl's freaking out. The main character's freaking out, and then the friend's all like in heaven and shit, because she got some muscle fetish. I think that's what the main character called it. She has like muscle fetish. She's like, "Oh my god, you guys are ripped." She's like fucking freaking out. I'm pretty sure she wants to blow every single one of them. Anyway, then Makio comes on. He's like, "I'm gonna help you, girls." You know, 'cause I guess he's the personal trainer or some shit. And he's wearing a tracksuit, and when he's wearing the tracksuit, he looks all normal and shit. You know, he looks like a normal guy. But then when he rips that shit off, he fucking exposes all this muscle. He's like bigger than the other guys and shit. And then the main character girl's freaking out. And then the other girl's, she wants to fuck him right then and there in the gym. And I'm like, fuck. You know, I like what set him off too, because he likes to shout out side chest, or in Japanese I guess called saido chesto, because that's what he said. But side chest. So yeah, he does the side chest. And what triggers him, I guess, every time he says the word side, because he says something, he was talking to him, and then he was like, besides, and then he was like, besides, side. And then he fucking ripped his shirt off, and then he showed off the muscles and shit. And, yeah, there's also fitness advice. Like I said, there was fitness advice, because, when he was teaching the girls to work out, he was teaching them about the bench press, and he was telling them about the whole keep the bar under your eye level, you know, arc your back, you know, use your shoulder blades, all these tips, which is great tips too. And then when they were doing squats, he was telling them about the whole, when you go down, put your thighs parallel to the floor. You know, you want to arc that. You want that 90 degree when you go down. You don't want to go too low, but you don't want to go. You won't stay too high because then there's no point doing squats if you're not going that low. So yeah, there's fitness advice and all that shit. The show's a comedy. I assume it'll be a romance comedy because it seemed like the main character girl was falling in love with this guy too. So it's a comedy. It's a romance comedy, I guess, and then it's a fitness. So and the opening is very catchy. I think the opening is what everyone talks about too when it comes to the show. The opening is very catchy. If you want to check it out, if you want to check out the opening, go for it. Watch it. You'll see what I mean. Like, it's pretty catchy. The chorus is catchy. I think that's what people liked so much about the show too. The fancy, not fancy. I mean the catchy theme song. But the anime itself is actually not that bad. And I would like to keep watching it, but I'm gonna get a little busy now. If I was gonna watch it, I should have watched it like 2 months ago. But I just discovered it right now. But it is what it is. So yeah, Danberu, whatever the fuck, I don't know. I say how heavy your dumbbell. That's basically the English title. How heavy your dumbbells. It's pretty good anime. It's about fitness. Teach you shit. If you're really into fitness like me, you'll probably already know most of these exercises / tips. But if you're new to fitness or if you want to get into it, then I think this will be a good start for it. I don't know if all the advice will be super accurate, but it is a good start. And if the tips aren't accurate, you can at least say the exercises are accurate, because in the first one they did teach about bench press, which is very good. And squats, which is like the most godlike cardio exercise you could do that doesn't require machinery. Squats is just like the perfect hands-on exercise when you don't have machines or tools or anything. Just do a couple of squats and you're on your way. Squats and push-ups, that's all you need mostly if you don't have any tools on your disposal. But yeah, that's basically it. I was just gonna tell all y'all about this anime. It's pretty good anime. It came out last year, so not that old. And I heard that there's gonna, it's not gonna be a season 2. There's the manga is still going out, but I don't know if there'll be a season 2 for the anime. But the manga is still ongoing, so it's still ongoing. The manga is, at least, but I don't know if the anime will keep going or not. But so it's still relatively new, basically. So that's basically all I was gonna say about that, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.